And we're live. I finally got the stream started. YouTube was not playing nice with me today. It is August 3rd, Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the favorite time of my day when I get to talk about the stuff that actually matters on this planet. What is going on, why it's going on, how it's going on, and literally the meaningful stuff that's going to make a difference in this planet. So many folks, big old school macro traders and people that have been in this industry for a long time are seeing this as not a grassroots, or maybe a little bit of a grassroots movement, but we're building up the foundation of a completely alternative slash replacement slash superior financial system. It seems like magic. It seems like games. It seems like a toy, and it's not. And that's what's so profound about what we're seeing with these yield games, with this DeFi. This is financial stuff that occurs in the real world, and now we're seeing it occur in crypto assets. And that is absolutely the flame, that is the fire of what's going on in the system right now. And we're going to talk about some big picture macro stuff and how these ecosystems are forming because all this DeFi stuff is part of really one ecosystem, and that's Ethereum. But there's more ecosystems, a multiverse, so to speak. Let's take a look at the comments. There's a lot of people in the chat today. Craig's in the chat. Yes. Sam's here. What's up? Hi. Hello, guys. My man. Jonah says, promising topic today. Oh, yeah. I finally got the stream started. Captain Weber in the house. KNC. I'll talk about KNC real quick. Stuff. Hello. Amen. Did you buy it or just nibble? What's up? James in the house. When something breaks, you fix it or build something better. And that's what we're doing. Because the legacy financial system is completely broken and we need to build something better. Let's do this. All right, so flipping over to the main screen, we have Kyber Network. One second, guys. Thank you. We got Kyber Network, which is what Captain Weber wanted me to talk about. Yes, Kyber is straight up in accumulation mode. It is in the biggest. I've never seen an asset with such support. I mean, take a peek at this. Look how far this goes back. This goes back multi-years. We got to go back to the day range. This is multi-year support here. We're talking about 2018. It goes right across the board. Absolutely incredible. And it is just sitting on it. So I don't even know what to think. This is not, okay, let's put it this way. This is not an asset I'm going to put 25% of my capital, my net worth in to get a 25% rip, a 50% rip. This thing is in stability mode. This is not a gainer right now. This is a perfect for the Dow. It's a perfect asset for you to place, a healthy position in and let the Dow collect revenue. Watch for the downside. If it breaks through any of these supports, you exit your position. Protect your gains at all costs. Participate in the network effect of the DAO and these systems, these DeFi applications. Get a sense, get an experience with them, but always protect your gains. So just because it's new doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. Always try new things. Anyway, so let's get back to the main topic. We got a lot to talk about today. Lucky says, greetings. Yes. DigiLight wants to talk about Ren DGB. Topic for another time. But it's kind of part of this because Ren is really the central focus of today's conversation. Michael says, crypto baby, yes. Let's look at the top charts real quick. What's hot over the last 24 hours? MCO? Interesting. But what is on my radar is Ren, a little bit of Ocean, Bancor, love it. Loopring's definitely on my radar. And that's about it. Digibyte's always there. Synthetics is a beauty. And Ethereum. Look at that. Almost everything that I have large positions in it's the top 24. And that's the way it's been for like the last 2 months. Almost every position I have is in the top 24% gainers. Tapped it for Kusama. I'd rather have Polkadot directly, but there's just not enough wallet clarity and asset availability and liquidity for my liking. So I've tended to shy away from it. Cosmos, straight up available. This thing is available right on the ledger. So, a lot of folks in the chat I know are trying to play around with Cosmos and Iris and Band and Kava, and why not? Grab a little bit. It goes right. Cosmos Station, as I showed everyone. Here, open a new tab. Cosmos Station. Oh, I have, and it connects right to your ledger. So let's take a look at the charts. What do we got? It's 12:07. Let's take 3 minutes and then we'll go to the main topic. Bancor is looking really good. This thing is incredible. So this was nice support. The bottom yellow line is a good support that it hit off of hard. And then the top yellow line is the exit from the ascending channel. And this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous chart. Look at this ascending channel. Look at all this bullish momentum. We got to pull it out to the daily to see the beginning here, just to get perspective. So check this out. So we're going back to May of April of 2019, and that's the region we're in. And this is basically the pressure we're trying to break through here. And it's just right on it. I mean, look at this. It tried to break through it in the ascending channel, got rejected, and inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it was a cup and handle if you look at it in the shorter time frames, but whatever it is, it punched through again, and it's right on this resistance. And after this resistance, you're going up here. You're going up to this territory, which is 4090. That's another 400%. 300%, 16, 300% at least. Ooh, that's a serious percent if you could get another 300% out of this bad boy. So, and Bancor is coming out with a DAO of their own, a governance asset, and they got the V2 protocol. This is just a wonderful asset. Bancor was the original AMM in 2017, so we know the macro narrative. I talked about Kyber briefly. Nothing really to talk about on Link other than it's breaking out to the upside. I don't think this has much to go. Maybe it does. Folks are saying $10 double digits, and I'm thinking it's already a multi-billion-dollar market cap asset. Was it going to double in market cap? I think Bancor is going to go 10x before this thing goes 1x, 2x. Ren is sitting on serious support. It's just a beautiful, beautiful chart. This thing is up hundreds of percent over the last couple of weeks. Let's take a look at the comments real quick. What's the rate KNC is paying in the Dow? Not much, a couple percent. MCO is phasing out their token from their apps and perks. I'm not sure the context of what MCO fits into their system. I haven't paid much attention to it. CRO will replace what MCO is doing. Very interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. What could be the ROI on setting up a Ren Dark node? Not much. There's not much Ren Dark node rewards right now. You're talking maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks a month. For an $18,000 investment, most people wouldn't go for it. Me, I'll take 3 of them. Is Biz the ultimate trial by fire battleground or what? Is Biz the ultimate business? Is business? Well, yeah, functional use case and business is the ultimate trial by fire. Smash the like button. Lucky, thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Noah, have you heard anything about Darwinia Commitment Token, Katon, Polkadot Bridge? Not. I've heard briefly about Katon. I think it's probably a parachain, and I've no doubt there's going to be other bridge components. I mean, but I think that Ren has not just a sweet spot. I think Ren has a unique technological offering with its MPC implementation, as well as a first out of the gate disruptor momentum, meaning it has the network of dark nodes, and any other competing technology doesn't have a deployed network, doesn't have a user base, doesn't have what Ren has built, which is momentum. And that is the meaningfulness of being a first out of the gate disruptor like what Link is. And that's it. Ren is pretty much entrenched, in my opinion, with its capacity to facilitate custody and tokenized representation on all other platforms. And that is what I wanted to talk about with this show. How do we get assets to work on Cosmos, on Polkadot, on EOS, on Tezos, on Elrond and Cardano? I know a bunch of folks on Twitter the other day were like, "Oh, Cardano's coming out with some ERC20 bridge." Yeah, that's what this is. That's what Ren is. Whether a platform comes out with an interoperability bridge, technologically it has to be the same concept. There's no such thing as an ERC20 working on Polkadot. The ERC20 is on Ethereum. So what has to happen? An entity has to take custody of the ERC20 and create a tokenized representation of that ERC20 on the other platform. And that's the way it works. Does atomic swaps make redundant wrapping tokens? No. Mutually exclusive. Atomic swaps have to do with, are predominantly applicable to UTXO chains, no doubt. But you can do an atomic swap between, let's say, a UTXO chain and Ethereum. But you're talking about Ethereum. It gets increasingly complicated when you're talking about an ERC20 token, which is a different asset than the fundamental Ethereum asset itself. So it's best to think of atomic swaps as a way to exchange UTXO assets and Ethereum, or be that Polkadot or any of the parachains, but not necessarily like a smart contract uh, um, asset, whether it's created on well, there's obviously the smart contract parachain for Polkadot. There's the smart contract hub for Cosmos, and obviously Shelley's coming out with Goguen, which is their smart contract implementation. And so the point being, the assets that are created with smart contracts are not the same as the fundamental asset of the platform itself, and that's really what atomic swaps are for. Um, so it's mutually exclusive. So there's a whole ecosystem of DEXs being built. Right now, all you guys are seeing is the DEXs associated with Ethereum, ERC20, maybe even 721 assets. And that is just a small part of the big picture. I mean, this is what's incredible about what's coming out for Cosmos Stargate, which, what is it, the IBC is it called? IBC. So the IBC is the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, which allows the hubs to communicate with one another. So really what Cosmos is, what Polkadot is, what Elrond, Tezos, EOS, and Cardano, these are blockchain networks or blockchain ecosystems. And these ecosystems are building, if not already have, ways for the blockchains to interact with one another. So we don't have the same issue we historically did with UTXO chains trying to communicate with one another. With the IBC here basically replaces the atomic swap. If you see where I'm going with that. But you still need something else if you want this ecosystem to communicate with Polkadot. You want this ecosystem to communicate with Cardano assets. You still need a custodian, and you still need a functional system to produce a tokenized representation of assets on another platform. And that is what is so meaningful about what Ren has built. And it's not just the technology that they built. In a short 2 months, they built enormous momentum, hundreds of million, was 100 million plus of volume. They've set precedents. They've created a reputation. And there's over 1,000 dark nodes deployed. So Ren is the Cardano solution for taking ERC20s and putting it on Cardano and using the Cardano smart contracts to process the Ethereum assets. And you could do any mixture of any of these ecosystems. If you want an Ethereum ERC20 to participate in an IrisNet or an IRITA business smart contract application. So IRITA is going to consume IrisNet, and IrisNet is part of the BSN, and that's the whole eastern side of the planet. That's all China. So, but how do you get an ERC20 from Ethereum to operate in that type of experience? You need a tokenized representation, and you need a custodian. So Ethereum assets working on Cosmos, Ethereum assets working on Polkadot, Polkadot assets working on Cosmos, and vice versa. And that's what Ren does, and that is what's so powerful about what they've created. Yes. So bear in mind, this is all part of a big picture. It's not just it's the notion of tokenized representation and a decentralized custodian is only part of it because you also want the atomic swaps. You also want the you need the dexes. So we have the dexes, we have the DeFi for Ethereum. You need to build this out for Cosmos, for Polkadot, for Cardano. We need the same implementation for all of these. And then what you need is a giant top-down version that uses Ren, that uses atomic swaps, and it's one platform, one-inch exchange that does everything. That works any asset, UTXO, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos, Cardano, it doesn't matter where it is, it just works. And that is where we're heading. And what you're seeing is the components of the system required to make that a reality. You need the platforms, and then you need the developers on the platform, so that's another story. Is there something unique about IrisNet? Yeah, it's part of the BSN, which is China's national blockchain strategy, of which the U.S. has absolutely no national blockchain strategy. You talk about the Chinese government says, hey, people, we're going to do blockchain at the national level. That's like President Trump saying, all right, Bitcoin and Ethereum boys, let's do this. Silicon Valley, get to work. That is what has happened in China. That is what IrisNet is a part of, and IrisNet is the Cosmos, is a Cosmos hub, part of the BSN. So the BSN has Neo, Tezos, Ethereum, probably 6 of them in total. But IrisNet is one of them, so IrisNet is the Cosmos hub blockchain part of the BSN. That is what is unique about IrisNet. And what is IrisNet facilitating is IRETA. So if you go on Twitter and you look up IRETA, IRETA is using IrisNet as the blockchain, and IRETA is basically business solutions for the Chinese national government, for the country of China, for billion plus people, billion and a half, the country of China. Do I have to say it again? That is something so unique, and it's so incredible because it's so disappointing that the United States is so negligent in even attempting to remain competitive from a blockchain business perspective. So yeah, I'm excited. Listen, I don't hate on any of these projects. I like Cardano. It's very slow for the deployment, which means the other platforms like Polkadot and Cosmos are much further out of the gate. They have much more momentum. It would be harder to disrupt and be competitive with. And another important thing is follow the developers. There's a huge amount of development on Polkadot, a lot of development on Cosmos, and obviously the vast majority, probably like 90+% of it, is on Ethereum. There's a little bit on EOS. There's a little bit on Elrond. There's a little bit on Tezos. There's just a little bit. It's not huge, nothing compared to Ethereum. There's not much. I mean, obviously, decentralization was just released, Shelley. So there isn't even smart contracts. So you can't even do development on Cardano yet. You need the smart contracts to actually do development. So in theory, just you should be able to take smart contracts from Ethereum and deploy them more or less on Cardano when it's eventually available, the functionality, but that's not now. And by the time it is available, who knows what's going to be going on with Cosmos and Polkadot and Ethereum. And that's why this is a very complicated landscape to try and be disruptive in, because it's constantly moving and constantly evolving extremely fast. My man AM says, thanks for the info on IrisNet. Woo! So bear in mind, it's a micro mini cap. And you guys know my opinion about micro mini caps. Never go all in and never spread too thin. So you can't go all in a micro mini cap. And sometimes, you get 1, 2, 3% in there. And it turns into a 50% of your portfolio. And that's happened to me a couple of times. Kyber Bancor and synthetics. I had 500% on synthetics. That was a nice win, and that's what happens. You gotta if you get 1,000% on IrisNet over the next year, as the BSN really rolls out whatever they have in mind, that changes everything. And you have another 2, 3 years left of this crypto cycle. It's bull run. So just like for the last 3 years, every time it went up, it went right back down. It was a bear market. This is a bull market. You buy the dips. It's going to go up for the next couple of years. And the question is which isn't going to go up and which is going to go down. The question is which is going to go up more. That's all it is. You can pretty much buy 100 assets and it's all going to go up over the next 3 years. So that's what's playing out. And to top it off, there's $6 trillion of liquidity that this ridiculous government has created. It's a monster, and they're about to throw another trillion in. Oh, the dollar here. Look at this. The dollar's getting. It's not even getting crushed that bad because let's pull it out to the weekly, and you see this is just tiny compared to whatever history the DXY has. Look at this. This thing was up at 120 and as low as the 70s. So this is all the craziness we've seen in gold. This is the craziness we've seen in gold. That's it. A whopping drop from 101 to 93.6 is gold at all-time highs. So, and obviously here, check this out. Crypto is inverse dollars, very obviously, because if you go to 2016 here, this right here, 2015, 2016. So this is really the big rip, the big Bitcoin rip from top to bottom in February 2018. So if Bitcoin is inverse dollars, here's the rip, and guess what's coming? Here's a much steeper rip. Look at this rip compared to this. Boop, compared to this. So that's what's going on, and that's why you're seeing such appreciative pressure in the crypto markets. And notice the other day when we had the Bitcoin red candle for about $1,000. That was this. Here's your $1,000 red candle. If you look at it on the 30-minute, there's your $1,000 red candle. So keep an eye on the DXY, and that's how you can see what's going to go on. Oh goodness, I had you guys. Sorry, I had you guys on the intro screen. So keep an eye on the DXY, and this is where you'll see how the crypto market's going to head in a relative short term. This right here is the Bitcoin $1,000 red candle. So the dollar went up for a little bit, and frankly, we could go into the technical analysis of what this looks like, but the general trend direction is obviously bearish. And that means there's going to be more appreciative pressure on gold and silver as well as crypto assets. That's the name of the game. That was a nice little rip up it had. And that's exactly why Bitcoin pulled back like it did. Sorry, Willie and Igor, but thank you for pointing it out. What else we got? BM says, Noah, I'm on you. Don't forget to watch Luna. I'll take a look at Luna. Polkadot. Yes. Anchor, very cool. My kind of project. Don't forget, let me know. Yes, indeed. I'll take a look. The issue with Cardano is Noah said they don't have any smart contracts yet. So follow the developers. So that's where the money is. That's where the attention is. And when the attention is from the general public and the social media and the news, that's where the money's going to go, and that's where the appreciation of the assets is going to be. And that's why it's all hot with Ethereum, because that's where all the activity is. And that's why Polkadot's hot. It's got a huge amount of developers, but there's a little resistance because there's not a lot of liquidity and it's hard to get the assets. Cosmos is a little easier. And frankly, now China's all behind Cosmos, so there's massive amount of potential with those projects. But follow the developers. Cardano, you can't even build a smart contract yet. There's no development whatsoever. But that's because he can't do development. So that's not a knock necessarily on what Charles is building, but he's behind. And he's got a lot of catch up to do. And there's a huge amount of momentum, huge with Ethereum, Cosmos, and Polkadot. So how do you compete? And to top it all off, he's competing with Elrond, Tezos, EOS, and that's his uphill battle. because Elrond just went mainnet, and Tezos has been mainnet. And here's Elrond. They got a couple of things that are interesting over here. Name service, which is, I mean, it's all going to do the same thing. I got 3 minutes left, and I'm going to end on this. All this shit is going to do the same exact thing. I see Edgeware. There you go. That's the smart contract platform for Polkadot. Now you're talking. So that's yeah, very exciting. So check it out. All these ecosystems are going to do the exact same shit. Elrond name service, and you have ENS, Ethereum name service, and digital identity. It's exactly what Digibyte does with DigiID. And DApp Store, sure, you could do this on any platform. But the point is, blockchain interoperability. What do you think we're looking at here with the IBC? And that's exactly what they're talking about in Q4. So Elrond is behind Cosmos with regard to blockchain interoperability. So this works on the same thing. There's validators and delegators, and that's similar consensus mechanism to Cosmos and Polkadot, but obviously the fundamentals are notably different, which is why it's a separate platform. Um, but they're similar conceptually, and which is interesting. But they're all going to do the same thing. So just follow the developers, follow the activity, and that's where you get the best bang. You'll get the best bang for your buck. And obviously, there's issues with Ethereum. The gas prices are ridiculous. And as I said, you're going to start to be able to execute smart contract transactions on other platforms. You consuming your Ethereum assets. And who knows how this is going to evolve over the next couple of years. I think it's going to evolve into just a massive ecosystem of cross-chain functionality and different chains operating on different assets with all possible combinations and configurations and mutations that you could possibly think of. And really, the sky's the limit with the technology. Absolutely incredible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday afternoon, 12:30 p.m., August 3rd. It's always a pleasure. I wanted to talk on the topic of interoperability and why REN is probably one of the most important projects right now, not just in the crypto space, but in the crypto spaces. The crypto space, Ethereum, Bitcoin. No, we're talking Cardano. We're talking about Polkadot. We're talking about Cosmos. We're talking about EOS. We're talking about Tezos. Elrond. It's this central nexus that brings together all of these ecosystems, including all the UTXO chains, Bitcoin, Digibyte. It's complicated because Blocknet and StakeNet have their incredible DEXs that they're coming out with, and StakeNet has Raiden Network, which goes to the second layer solution for Ethereum. It's hard to wrap your mind around all of the stuff that's going on. So stay tuned. I'm going to keep talking about this because it's way too damn exciting and interesting. I wish you all a wonderful day. I thank you very much for joining. As always, we're going to have another topic tomorrow. Peace.